Support for WCBU's On Deck comes from Jaguar Land Rover Peoria on Allen Road, offering personalized service to customers from their first visit to the store to when they drive their new Land Rover home. More at jaguarlandroverpeoria.com.
The Peoria Irish Fest returns to the riverfront later this month. That's just one of the things you'll want to hear about to start your day for Friday, August 9th. I'm Colin Shope, and this is WCBU's On Deck. First on deck today, a partnership between the East Bluff Community Center and Heartland Health Services is bringing a new health clinic to the East Bluff. WCBU's Cameron Cutinello reports.
The clinic will offer primary care, screening, and testing services. Heartland Health Services CEO DeWitt Harrell says they're hoping the center will help people with transportation barriers access health care.
And a lot of great programs are going on in the East Bluff Community Center itself, where a lot of those community members will find access to health care that they may not have known about before. And we're hopeful that a lot more folks will get a primary care provider and get a home for health care.
Harrell says there will be no cost for community members to get services. The clinic will take appointments through an online portal and will also offer walk-in services. East Bluff Community Center Board President Tim Cunningham says the clinic is a natural expansion for the center.
Food, nutrition, now health. Who knows where it'll go from here? Sky's the limit, but great things start small, and we're starting with one small program here, and we'll see how that changes, morphs, and matures over time.
The clinic will operate out of a room in the center on Kansas Street and will be run by clinicians from Harlan's East Bluff Health Center. There is not an opening date set currently. For WCBU's On Deck, I'm Cameron Cutinello.
Here are some of the other stories we're following in the WCBU newsroom. The estimated price tag for the proposed Tazewell County Justice Center Annex is now $44 million. And a 36-year-old man is dead after a workplace accident at Caterpillar's Peoria Proving Ground facility in rural Washington. Plus, the Morton School District and Morton Education Association will begin the new school year next week with a new contract. You can find more of these stories and all the details at WCBU.org. The Peoria Irish Fest will be taking over the riverfront August 23rd through 25th. On this week's episode of Out and About, Dr. May Gilliland Wright of Arts Partners of Central Illinois talks with the festival's entertainment chair, Tom McConaughey. More info can be found at PeoriaIrishFest.com, and wearing a kilt or Renaissance Fair attire gets you in for free on Sunday.
The way we work is we have 3 music stages and 19 bands playing over the course of the weekend. And obviously the one that people have paid most attention to is Gaelic Storm. It's the first time they've been back since 2011. Okay. And they have just a massive following of devoted fans, and we're hoping they all show up because it's going to be quite a party on Saturday night. They do kind of a alt-rock Celtic with some country and things thrown in, and they're very popular. They became famous, I guess, by appearing in the movie Titanic. They were in the scene in the third-class Irish dance thing, and ever since then their career has just skyrocketed. They are definitely a live band. They're on the road all the time, and they're great fun to see. We're looking forward to it.
And you've got some other bands that we're very excited about as well. Do you want to tell us about a couple of those?
Oh, sure. Yeah. We actually are involved in an organization that is a group of conference organizers, and they have an annual meeting where we go and see showcases. And last fall it was in Galway, Ireland, and they picked 12 bands out of like 100-some submissions, and they had each of them play, short sets. Mm-hmm. And we're lucky enough to get 4 of them to come over this year, which is very exciting. And it's a good variety. I think some people who do more straight trad music, and then some people who kind of push the boundaries a little bit. We have a woman, Shiva, who's coming, who trained as a jazz guitarist, and she now does quite a lot of different styles of music, kind of neo-soul, jazz, folk. And then we have people like Drowsy Lads, who are a band from Ohio, who are celebrating their 20th anniversary. They've headlined at all the major festivals. We've never had them before, so it's high time we had them, and they're coming and bringing their new 20th anniversary album, so that'll be exciting.
One of the more popular components of Irish Fest is the Highland Games. Tell us about it and who is invited to participate.
Oh, it's great. Anybody can participate on Saturday. Sunday is actually a competition, and last year I think they set 2 or 3 records at the competition. It's quite a thing, but they have teams come in on Sunday. But Saturday, if you want to give it a go, it's crazy stuff. I mean, the Scots have a similar history to the Irish because they too were ruled by England for a while, and a lot of things were prohibited, including military training. So the idea behind the Highland Games was to get people ready in case they ever had a chance to fight the English. So there are things like the caber toss, which looks to me like a big telephone pole that they kind of heave. And then there is another contest where there's almost like a pole vaulting thing set up, and they skewer big bales and throw them over the top. And then they also like throw stones and stuff. I mean, it's serious work, but if you want to try, they're available on Saturday, and you can just give it a go. It's a lot of fun to watch.
New this year is something that I find quite intriguing, sheepdog demonstrations. Tell me about that.
Oh, totally awesome. And it's the craziest thing, really, because the trainer almost does nothing, little like whistles or looks and stuff. And the dog, it's sort of like if you're in trouble when you're a kid and your parents stare at you, the dog just kind of crouches and stares at the sheep, and they do exactly what he wants them to do. It's crazy to watch. It's really a lot of fun. We're excited to have them this year.
Of course, this, as we mentioned, there's so many things for people to do at this festival, and it's for all ages. You have a wee folks area, correct?
Yes. We cut that back because of the pandemic, but we're bringing it back kind of in full force this year. One of our really popular events is we have the Barnyard Discoveries, which is kind of a petting zoo. We have somebody who will do a couple of puppet shows. There's a storyteller. The Bradley Chemistry Club comes and does a wildly popular demonstration. And we have, balloon guy and face painting, things like that. So we've really tried to emphasize that some more this year because it's a family event, it's a family weekend, and we want people to have fun.
You've been listening to Out and About, a production of WCBU and Arts Partners of Central Illinois. Catch the full interview at WCBU.org or subscribe to the podcast.
Support for arts and culture coverage on WCBU comes from PNC Financial Services. PNC is committed to supporting local art and culture events in the communities they serve.
Now, before we let you go, the 134th annual Brimfield Old Settlers Days continues tonight with carnival rides, live music, a fried chicken dinner, and more. The festivities start at 5 p.m. in downtown Brimfield. And that's all for today. You can subscribe to WCBU's On Deck podcast on the NPR app, Apple, Spotify, or YouTube Music.